This is my studio, and I'm noula diamantopoulos. I've been here since 2000, and I teach art and consciousness here in workshops. I run corporate events here, innovative thinking. I create mosaic commissions. I print. I fight with painting. We have a lovely relationship. I sculpt, and I write. In 2011, I had a very curious conversation with Rihanna, who is the gallery manager at Arterial. The curiosity of that conversation was about art and life, and why do we separate them? And of course they are not separate. Then the challenge was set: how can we show that they are the same? Quest was born because I am a psychotherapist, and one of the ways that I play with my clients is through renegotiating their perspective on things, which is a series of questions. So if someone is questing with me for the first time and they don't really know what to expect, I would say congratulations for coming and sitting with me in silence, where even looking at each other can be awkward. That's the physicality of Quest, let alone committing to paper a question, because you can't take it back. You can't sit there saying, oh, that's not what I meant when I wrote that question. And then passing it to me, and of course, as soon as it's passed to me, it now becomes my question. Then I make my own sense of that question, and then, of course, I question back. And in such a few short questions, we end up in a very deep and insightful and curious place, and you wonder, how did that opening question, which might be as simple as how are you today, take you to a concluding question which might be like in 5 steps, which might be, well, what is the meaning of life? I hope to enliven their imagination again, and for them to remember that they have one, and that the imagination is a tool for living a joyful life, and a life that is curious and exploratory, and not only answer driven, because we go to school to learn answers. We don't go to learn a process of discovery. The question has come to mean that you don't know the answer, which means that you're not smart. Whereas for me, a question is curious. Why would you ask that question? That is a really curious question. Wow, let me explore that. And then I come to a place that I have never been to before, and I get very excited about that. It's like mind traveling. I have had people as young as 6-year-olds, maybe a 5-year-old. I remember an 11-year-old who came at the Sydney Contemporary Art Fair several times to quest with me. He kept bringing his parents back to quest with me. And this little fellow was suffering from ADHD, and yet he was able to sit with me at 15-minute intervals, totally absorbed in the process. The responses I've had have been playful, from lots of laughing out loud, even though there's silence, I do laugh out loud, to times where both the participant and myself have allowed ourselves to cry, so tears have fallen. But in every instance, there has not been, in all of this time of questing, there has not been a non-engaging experience. And then at the end of that day, because I have been sitting in silence for all of that time, I gather whoever is around me, and all together I bring my voice back by umming. A very enjoyable process. I love it because an answer seems to finish off a conversation. And it becomes then a process of debating who's got the best right answer. But questions really explore things that you have not yet perhaps explored for yourself, because you didn't think of it that way, you didn't see it that way. I love questing. it has changed the way that I approach my other art forms. And I am a mosaic artist. I do many large-scale mosaics. I am a sculptor. I enjoy many types of art forms. Quest has definitely most deeply changed my process in my other art forms, very much so.